going to be honest, I could not think of a good bit to do for this video. I was too busy eating a whole pizza. Mistakes were made. Business from scratch. Alright, welcome back to another video in this series where I document the whole process of what I'm doing to start my own business from the ground up, and just posting it here so if you're on the same journey you can follow along and learn from everything that I did so you know not to do that. Now, last video we talked about registering your business, and at this point you are probably now aware that once you register your business you're going to receive a lot of scams. A lot, both in the mail and to your email. And yeah, this is just a PSA. I'm not going to say too much on this. Please be careful. Do not fall for them. I know in the mail there's a few that they kind of look official, but most of them are like, oh, you gotta put OSHA signs up, and those are scams. You can tell they don't have the official seal on them. And yeah, don't pay for something you're not going to receive. You're not going to get in trouble. Yeah, just please be aware. Now, today I wanted to talk about building a presence for your business, or at least starting to lay the groundwork for how you're going to start doing that. And what I mean by presence is people knowing what your business is, what your business does, so that when you start selling, people already know who you are, and you'll be able to earn more sales that way. And the way you build your presence is through your website and through your social media. So starting with the website, before you actually make the website, the first thing you are going to want to do is get a domain. This is pretty simple to do. There's several different websites that offer domains. I went through Google Workspace because it made it super easy to get the domain, but then also connect the domain to professional email, and then it even made it easier to connect to the site that I used to make the website. So there are cheaper options out there for getting a domain. I just chose Google because it makes it very easy to connect everything together seamlessly. It was very easy. I recommend Google, and don't be scared of the cost. Now, if cost is something you're worried about and you decide it's not worth it, don't go for it. That is your choice, totally up to you. The reason I decided to go with the option that was more cost is, one, it's the easiest, and two, it made it easier for future expansion. What I mean by this, say Butter Ben's takes off, and next thing I know I have a bunch of employees. Google Workspace makes it very easy to slot more people in to operate the domain, have professional emails, and I didn't want to have to suddenly be in a position where I'm like, oh man, I gotta get Google Workspace now. Now my costs increase. I want to be in a position where I know what my costs are going into it, and they're not going to change a whole lot, unless if Google Workspace ends up increasing their cost of usage, which is possible, but at least I'm in a position now where I'm not going from cost to having a cost. Like, I'm going into it with the cost, but now I can structure everything else around that and go into selling knowing I have this cost I need to cover. So that's why I did that. Now, I keep mentioning professional emails. That's something you need a domain for, not just a website, but also for professional emails. And I do recommend having a professional email. This just makes you look more professional off the bat, makes you look more credible. For example, would you be more likely to answer an email from the butteriest of Bens at yahoo.com or the butteriest of Bens at butterben.com? I will not be using the butteriest of Bens, I can assure you. But already, if you see something from Ben at butterben.com, it just comes across as more official and people are more likely to respond to it. And with Google Workspace, you can also set up aliases, which just means several different emails that you can that people can reply to, and then you can reply from. 2 aliases, one for orders, so when someone orders through the website, they'll get an email from that alias. And then I have one for more administrative. I keep going back and forth on what I want in the email. Like, do I want to have it with my name? Do I want to have it say like hello at Butterben or something like that? With websites, there are a multitude of different tools and options that you can use. I went with Squarespace. It is one of the more expensive options, but it looks, having gone through it, made my website. It's not published yet, so don't go looking for it. I'm waiting till my doors officially open before I publish my website. But it looks clean. It just looks very good. I know there's free options for websites out there, and you can use those. The problem I kept running into when I looked into them is that the websites all looked like they were made to operate on Windows 96. You know the websites, right? Like, they just look old. Now, there's nothing wrong with looking old. Like, tons of websites out there still look kind of outdated, but that's the problem. They look outdated. I wanted to look modern so that when people went to the website, maybe even like 5 years from now, it still looks good. It still looks new, it looks fresh, and people can know that they are in the right spot. Now, yes, I mentioned Squarespace is one of the more expensive options out there. I am doing the yearly plan, which I believe is $276 a year. But again, just wanted to have the best option to begin with, so I know what my costs are going into the business. I didn't want to start with a free option with the expectation that when I start building up my customer base, I can then suddenly get Squarespace and update the website and have it look good. I was like, no. Again, I just want to know what my costs are upfront before I start. So that's Squarespace. And yeah, It looks good. One thing I did notice is that Squarespace is extensive. There's a lot you can do with it. Best advice I can give is just one step at a time. It can be overwhelming, but just step by step, piece by piece, it'll all come together, and Squarespace does make it easy to do that. Yes, sorry, there will be a part 2, don't worry.